collection of poetry on very unrelated topics. So it's from a poem from a daughter to a father, to Titanic, like personification of Titanic. Then there is one on peace, one on a man who's very depressed, who hates the world. It's very, very, very different, contrasting views. So I would call it nothing better than a simple teenager who has expressed everything she feels on paper. And it's up to the reader to interpret it how they want.
So maybe that's why the name Imagine.
Yes, exactly. Imagine. Imagine means just imagine. I couldn't think of a topic, a title better than Imagine for my book.
So, okay. तो आपको अपनी बुक लिखने की इंस्पिरेशन, प्रेरणा कहाँ से मिली?
ज़्यादातर मेरे स्कूल से ही आई है, क्योंकि मेरे स्कूल में ऐसे इतने टैलेंटेड और हुनर वाले बच्चे हैं जो मेरे क्लासमेट्स हैं. they are doing such great stuff at such a young age. So I've as much as I appreciated all that they've done, I didn't want to always just sit at the back and clap for other people. I wanted to do something myself as well. And my school has been so supportive. My teachers they're right there, Jaya ma'am, my headmistress, and she's come with me, and my school's been very supportive throughout. So first conceptualizing the idea came from the competition I got from school, and actualizing the real book, जो असली में मैंने जो लिखी है, जो बनाई है, जैसे मैंने खुद किया है, and ये इसी वजह से हुआ है because I've been brought up by such wonderful parents who've taught me to be independent, and a wonderful school who's that's given me inspiration, and that's actually just imbibed, you know, this kind of autonomous thinking in me. So I never really needed to go to someone to ask how do you write a book. I did it by myself, and that's all thanks to the learning of my parents and my teachers.
So that's very nice.
Thank you.
तो आपकी बुक में काफ़ी ज़्यादा कविताएं हैं, लेख से ज़्यादा कविताएं बहुत ज़्यादा है. तो आप कविताएं क्यों मतलब इतनी कविताओं की तरफ आपका इंक्लिनेशन क्यों है?
देखिए, कविता जो है ना, इट्स मोर देन जस्ट समथिंग you've written. कविता को महसूस किया जाता है. कविता एक एहसास है जिसको बस शब्द दिए गए हैं. तो इसलिए मुझे लगता है कि कविता इज़ द मोस्ट ब्यूटीफुल. कविता सबसे खूबसूरत तरह का लेख होता है. ना कोई रूल्स होते हैं, ना कुछ होता है, बस आप महसूस कीजिए, और जो आप महसूस करते हैं वो आप लिखिए, और आपकी कविता बहुत अच्छी होगी. दैट्स ऑल.
तो आपकी मनपसंद कविता, व्हाट्स योर फेवरेट पोएम? आपने पहली पोएम कब से लिखना स्टार्ट किया, क्या पढ़ के? मतलब
माय फेवरेट पोएम राइट नाउ इज बाय विलियम शेक्सपियर, द 7 Ages of Man, All the World's a Stage. So and it's my favorite because he simplified every person's life. All of us sitting here have two things in common. We will always age, and all of us will have to die. It's inevitable. So he's just made up, like, human beings are like a pool of people who have two things. So, and the way he's described everything makes you believe that the world is a simple place for the few moments that you're reading the poem. That. And आपने और क्या पूछा था? मैं कब?
कि हाँ, आपने कब से अपनी कविताएं लिखना चालू किया, किस एज से?
मैं जब 6 साल की थी, मैंने अपनी पहली कविता लिखी. उसका शीर्षक था अप इन स्पेस, जैसे आसमान में. सो वो बहुत ही, जैसे मैंने लिखा था, द सन इज लाइक अ बन, एंड देन अर्थ, एंड देन आई all the planets from Venus, Mars, Jupiter, this, that. So then it was like that. So I rhymed every planet with something. The Mars among the stars and stuff. So तब से मैं लिख रही हूँ, और इसीलिए मुझे कविताएं पसंद है. ना ग्रामर कुछ, you don't have to like focus on correct. You just have to focus on what's beautiful, simple.
Okay, that's nice.
Thank
So
you.
amongst us we have the youngest among the panel is Zuni. She's 12 from Dhirubhai Ambani International School, Mumbai, and she started writing at the age of 6. So and now 12. So let's hear from her. What made you write? What made you write?
Well, I've always been writing from a very young age.
Can we have the audio up on Zuni's mic, please?
So, mostly I've just had a hobby to do it, and then when I got older, I thought I want to pursue this hobby seriously. And as I got older, I tried to write more and more and make books. So that's how I started there.
And what is the book
वरुण दीदी
about?
थोड़ा हिंदी में बात करें.
अच्छा, आपकी जो किताब है पेंटिंग विद वर्ड्स, उसके अंदर आपने क्या डालने की कोशिश की कि जो छोटे बच्चे हैं, जो अडल्ट हैं, यंग अडल्ट हैं, वो आपकी किताब की तरफ आकर्षित हों?
कविताएं मैंने लिखी है and it's mostly for a younger age group rather than older.
यंगर एज ग्रुप. तो आपकी कुछ कविताएं आप हमें बताना चाहेंगी कि कुछ कविताएं जो आपको पसंद आई और आपने आपका मतलब फेवरेट टॉपिक सब्जेक्ट जिसके ऊपर आप बात करना चाहें, आपकी फेवरेट टॉपिक क्या है जिसके ऊपर आप लिखना पसंद करती हैं?
मेरे को डीप पोएम्स अच्छा नहीं लगता है. I don't understand. I mean, I understand them, but I don't see why, you can't write about something fun, and that can be pretty too. So rather than tragedy and all of that, I much prefer, something that's simple but funny.
Okay. So here we have Tanisha also. She's from and she's been writing at the age of 6-7 also. And आपकी किताब के बारे में हम कुछ जान सकते हैं? यहाँ पे सब लोग बहुत उत्साहित हैं इस बारे में जानने के लिए कि आपने क्या लिखा है.
The name of my book is Reflections. मेरी किताब का नाम Reflections है. हम सब जानते हैं 13 से 19 साल की उम्र. Yes. हम सब जानते हैं 13 से 19 साल की उम्र. अरे बाप रे, इतनी चीज़ें फेस करनी पड़ती है, दिमाग खराब हो जाता है. तो मेरी कविता उन्हीं रोलर कोस्टर इमोशंस के बारे में है, where you just can't control your emotions and still you're supposed to control your emotions. It is about turning chaos into order. It is about feeling a fullness within oneself, irrespective of whether you get that pimple on the last day. क्या फ़र्क पड़ता है, मुंह पे पिंपल ही तो है, लेकिन नहीं, हमें तो लगता है सब हमें देख रहे हैं. बस मेरी पुस्तक, मेरी कविताएं सिर्फ उस बारे में है.
और आपको लिखने की प्रेरणा कहाँ से मिली? किसने आपको बोला कि आपको लिखना चाहिए या फिर ऐसा कुछ?
जब मैं 6 साल की थी ना, मेरे पापा की पहली ट्रांसफ़र हुई. माई फादर गॉट ट्रांसफर्ड फ्रॉम दिल्ली टू मुंबई व्हेन आई वाज 6. So at that time my English teacher came home and she gave me a heart shaped journal. तब मेरी इंग्लिश की टीचर घर आई और उन्होंने मेरे को दिल की शेप में एक पुस्तक दी, खाली पुस्तक, जिसमें मैं अपनी दिन की जो भी मैं महसूस करती हूँ उसे लिख सकती हूँ. उस जर्नल का जो फर्स्ट पेज था, द फर्स्ट पेज ऑफ द जर्नल रेड, द केज्ड बर्ड सिंग्स द स्वीटेस्ट, बट माई सॉलिटरी बर्ड आई वॉन्ट यू टू फ्लाई द हाईएस्ट. जो पक्षी पिंजरे में बंद होती है वो सबसे मीठा गाती है, तथा जो पंछी अकेले उड़ती है, मैं अपने माँ बाप की इकलौती संतान हूँ, तो जो पंछी अकेली होती है वो सबसे ऊंचा जाती है. क्यों? क्योंकि जो लोग बात करते रहते हैं वो तो बातों में अपना समय बर्बाद कर देते हैं. द chattering birds will eventually die out, wither down. It's only about the solitary birds who are going to fly the highest. मेरी प्रेरणा, मेरी प्रिंसिपल बीर मैम, यू कैन सी दैट, मेरी प्रेरणा उनसे आती है. आप देख सकते हैं वो कितनी खूबसूरत हैं, अपने आप को कैसे कैरी करती हैं. मेरी सारी प्रेरणा, मेरे सारे आइडियाज सब वहीं से आते हैं. उनके पीछे लाल में मेरी मम्मी बैठी हैं, टपक टपक आंसू रो रही हैं. सो माई इंस्पिरेशन पार्टली फ्रॉम हर, पार्टली फ्रॉम हर.
जूनी, आप अपनी किताब के बारे में कुछ हमें बताना चाहेंगी कि आपने क्यों लिखा और मतलब क्या लिखा है उसके अंदर, ताकि लोग आपकी किताब की तरफ
उसके अंदर तो कविताएं ही है and all poems, not any stories, and I'm writing them about many different subjects. So nothing like Sneha's books, nothing is connected.
Would you like to read a poem for the children around here so that they can look कि why don't you like to like the deep poems?
My attic. I was cleaning my attic today, and what should I find along the way but precisely 209 of all the poems I'd left behind. Half-finished poems lay on the floor, phrases and clauses blocked the door. Dusty tenses lay in a chair, conjunctions lay bathed in the sun's glare. Moth-eaten adverbs lay in a lump, pronouns lay on top of the dump. Of broken verbs, many were to be found. Beside the smashed window were the nouns. It was a long time before I would sup, and this would look fine if someone swept up. So I picked up each piece, each word, each grain, and began my loud panting, a constant refrain. And onto one paper I swept all the lines, and felt the pressure on my hard-working mind. The dust cleared, and I wiped off the grease. Now this is my masterpiece.
That was amazing. Okay, so I would like to ask something to Snehal now. That जो आपने कविताएं लिखी हैं, जो भी लेख लिखे हैं अपनी किताब में, क्या वो सारे इमेजिनेशन है, फिक्शन है, खुद बनाई गई स्टोरीज़ हैं, या फिर उनमें से कुछ आपके साथ हुआ रियल लाइफ एक्सपीरियंसेस भी हैं उसके अंदर?
ये इसमें काफ़ी कुछ मेरा रियल लाइफ एक्सपीरियंस भी है, काफ़ी कुछ नहीं, थोड़ा बहुत मैं कहूँगी. जैसे एक मैंने अपने पापा के लिए लिखी है, एक मैंने अपने मॉम के लिए लिखी है, एक मैंने अपने स्कूल के बारे में लिखी है. इट्स कॉल्ड मॉडर्न विद अस फॉरएवर. एंड और एक दो हैं जो मैंने अपनी फ्रेंड्स के लिए लिखी हैं. बाकी आई वोंट डिस्क्लोज, आपको लेनी पड़ेगी, पढ़नी पड़ेगी, और आप बताइए कि आपको क्या लगता है मेरा असली क्या है और क्या मैंने इमेजिन किया है.
So I think we have many readers to buy your book now.
Definitely. Yes. I hope so.
Okay, so आपकी बुक में से आपकी फेवरेट कविता, आपको कौन सी सबसे, I mean, your best work in the book?
I have 3.
Okay.
तो 3 है मेरी फेवरेट. मैं उसमें से चूज़ नहीं कर सकती क्योंकि जैसे मैंने कहा सारी अलग अलग हैं, तो अलग अलग टॉपिक्स पे हैं. मेरी 3 फेवरेट हैं. एक इट्स कॉल्ड हीरो. It's about this athlete who rises and becomes the best in his country, it's like basically about a football player, fictional football player. And then he's just very passionate about the game. Then one day he decides he doesn't want to win, he wants to defeat the opponent. And that attitude messes up his game, and then from that time on his life changes. And it's about his life, like from the beginning, from rags to riches, and then from riches again to rags because he made that mistake, and then how he's just planning to get back up there. And then the second poem it's called Titanic, the Queen. So it's basically I've personified Titanic, the ship. So we all know that Titanic sank on its maiden voyage. So I've written about how Titanic is like, as a lady, she grew and then she went into the sea all alone, ventured, and then she was so beautiful, and then the iceberg is like the villain there because it's all personification. So the iceberg slits her throat and then she drowns and everything. So it's like that. And the third one is obviously for my father. He's standing right there. And he's the best person I've ever known in my life. He has inspired me. Everything I am today is all because of him. So it's called A Light in the Dark Alleys. It's my journey with him in these 18 years. How the first time, probably when I was born, I don't remember, but I was told he looked at me and I held his finger really tight. So and then it goes on to how he taught me various things and how it is now and how I'd like it to be in the future. That I want him to be there and guide me forever. It's the last line in that poem is, no matter how far or big your princess may be, may be, she'll always have one deep secret wish that she wants you to guide her throughout her life and be her light in these dark alleys till her last breath.
तो आपकी क्या सारी कविताएं बहुत डीप है क्योंकि जूनी को
नहीं
डीप
नहीं,
नहीं पसंद.
एक कविता है जो जूनी को बहुत पसंद आएगी, उसका नाम है क्रेजी. So it's got stuff like, I wish I could go on into the sea, walk on the ocean and wear the rainbow on my neck, and I'd like to gather all my friends and fantasies and be crazier than crazy itself has ever been. That's what it says in the end. So I'm sure Zuni will like that. That's like that's not deep at all. That's a very crazy poem actually. If you read it, you'll find it all like, whoa, what is she saying? So yeah.
आप लोग को तनीषा, मैं आपसे जानना चाहूँगी कि आपको क्या लगता है कि और छोटे बच्चों को कैसे इनकरेज किया जा सकता है लिखने के लिए, और हमारा जो लिटरेचर है अपनी खुद की भाषा में, जो इस भाषा में वो चाहे उस भाषा में लिखने के लिए इनकरेज किया जा सकता है, कैसे इनकरेज किया जा सकता है?
जब मैं बहुत छोटी थी, जिस स्कूल से मैं आती हूँ, हमें बताया जाता था that you should always write and you should not think about the spellings, the grammar, the mathematics about writing. It is not mathematics, it's not rocket science. हमें बस लिखना है, सिर्फ लिखना है. अपनी जो दिल की बातें हैं उन्हें लिखिए, और बिल्कुल उन्हें प्रोत्साहित भी करूँगी. And you know, writing is something which is so much easier than maths, so why not just do it? So for you all I would just say that do not curb your imagination. अपनी imagination पे सीमाएं ना लगाएं, जो मन में आए उसे लिखें, और इस डर में कभी ना रहें कि लोग क्या सोचेंगे. लोगों का काम है, कुछ तो कहेंगे, आप बस लिखिए.
Zuni, I want to ask the same question to you also, कि आप कैसे इंस्पायर करती हैं लोगों को लिखने के प्रति, और कैसे मतलब वो अपनी छोटी सी शुरुआत से एक आपकी तरह एक राइटर बन सकते हैं, कैसे?
Well, I would say that, like she said, don't worry about what other people think. It's okay. If you really mean what you say in the poem, then it's going to be good. And if you say that I want to make something of value, if you don't have inspiration, let that be your inspiration. I want to make something that's great.
मेरे को ये चीज़ आप तीनों से पूछनी है, क्योंकि ये मेरी भी बहुत बड़ी दिक्कत है. आई डू नॉट रीड. सो डू यू गाइज रीड अ लॉट? डिड यू रीड अ लॉट टू राइट अ बुक, और इट वॉज जस्ट योर वाइल्ड इमेजिनेशन, वाइल्ड थॉट्स, ओरिजिनल राइटिंग?
Well, see, wild thoughts is well and good, but you have to fuel a machine to make it work. And if you don't read writing, then you can't write writing. So you have to read at least a little bit.
And same goes to Tanasa and Snehal.
No, you go first.
आई डोंट रीड इट ऑल. मैं बिल्कुल भी किताबें नहीं पढ़ती. मैं स्कूल की टेक्स्ट बुक के बाहर नहीं जा पाती. मेरी दुनिया दिखाने की जो दृष्टि है वो केवल मेरी मम्मी से आती है. माई मदर्स फिंगर इज़ लाइक द कॉस्मोस ऑफ द यूनिवर्स टू मी, and she is the only eyes that I have, and that's how I see the world. I step a little out of my house, and that's my principal, and she is going to guide me throughout life. So मैं किताबें नहीं पढ़ती. मेरी किताब केवल मेरी मम्मी की उंगली से की इंस्पिरेशन से आती है.
And Snehal?
Mine is kind of like a mix of both of their things, because I do read. Yes, मैं पढ़ती हूँ, किताबें पढ़ती हूँ, अलग-अलग किस्म की किताबें पढ़ती हूँ. सिडनी शेल्डन पढ़ती हूँ मैं, एनेट ब्लाइटन पढ़ती थी, और एक अनुजा चौहान इज़ माई फेवरेट राइटर. आई वॉज रियली होपिंग दैट शी'd बी हियर. उनकी किताबें मैं अलग अलग किस्म की किताबें पढ़ती हूँ, कई हिंदी भी पढ़ती हूँ, कविताएँ. बट I won't say that my book has been inspired by another book, because it's been inspired all by people, events, movies. It's been inspired just by people, simple. So other books have given me that capacity to understand writing and how to write, but the inspiration comes from people around me, various people, various events.
Okay.
Tanisha would like to narrate an excerpt from her poem, from her book. So let's hear what she has to say.
पहले मैं हिंदी वाली कविता सुना देती हूँ. इसका नाम है क्योंकि सपने कुछ ऐसे थे. जो खबर हम आवाम को सुनाए, वो आप खुद को सुनाने से ही मुकर गए. दिल तो तड़प कर जलने को तैयार था, पर आप तो पहले ही बिखर गए. जब हमने की शाम से दोस्ती, तब आप सुबह में ही निखर गए. बंदे की बंदगी का यूं मजाक ना उड़ा, ऐसे ना देख नहीं दी तुझे दगा. कल भी थी आज भी हूँ, ना यूं देख कर ले मजा. एक बार तो सुन ले क्या थी मेरी रजा. दिस इज जस्ट एन एक्सेप्ट. देयर इज अनदर पोएम. मैंने एक और कविता लिखी थी रेप केस पे, जो 16 दिसंबर को दिल्ली में निर्भया वाला रेप केस था, उसके ऊपर. वो अंग्रेजी में है. मैं कविता पढ़ दूंगी, फिर मैं आपके लिए ट्रांसलेट करूंगी. ओ ह्यूमैनिटी, वेयर डू यू बिलोंग? द वर्ल्ड्स women are trapped in fear. Every day it is part of the breaking news. Still there is no resolve, but everyone floods the headlines with their views. It hit me hard to graceless mutiny. I was hideous, hopeless without scrutiny. I sat where the night never ends. Heaven's radiant show never lends. इसमें मैंने कहा है कि जो दुनिया की औरतें हैं वो सिर्फ डर में अपने आप को पिंजरे में बंद करा हुआ महसूस करती हैं. It's not a simple molestation case. It's about a family losing their societal disgrace. A father attempting to hide those tears on his face. Aren't rapes the gravest of the sins committed by the human race? इसमें मैंने कहा है कि क्या रेप सबसे बुरा क्राइम नहीं है जो मैनकाइंड करती है. इसमें मैंने ये लिखा है कि एक पिता जब अपनी बेटी को देखता है, जब वो उससे सबसे पहली बार अपनी गोद में लेता है और कहता है ये मेरे सपने हैं, ये मेरी सारी दुनिया है, क्या हमें किसी ने ये अधिकार दिया है कि हम उन सब सपनों का मर्डर कर दें, उनका रेप कर दें? क्या ये हमें किसी ने अधिकार दिया है? ऐसे ही ये.
So I just want to ask one last thing that आप लोग क्या आगे भी किताबें लिखने वाले हैं? As in, are you planning to write more books forward, like your future about, like, you guys have to tell
so
me.
I was thinking next I want to make a novel rather than just poems, because I love poems, but I want to try writing a story.
Yeah,
Because
so you
I've
want
never
to step
written-
out of your comfort
Yeah.
zone, all of
Yeah.
you, or you're going to
Same here,
stick
yeah,
to
no, no.
poems and
Because I've never written something that's really long, because eventually I lose patience and I say, okay, I'm not writing this anymore. But I want to try staying with it for a longer period.
and what about?
I have the exact same situation, because I have actually tried stepping out of my comfort zone and writing something. I tried writing this little fictional story about a Greek princess and a Persian prince and like conquest and stuff, but it didn't go too well because I got bored after 50-60 pages. So let's hope someday some story is so grasping that I can actually sit through and write it, because I believe that if I can't sit through and write it, people won't read it. Like if it's not interesting enough to grip the writer, it can't grip the reader. So
And how about you?
मेरे हिसाब से poetry is something that converts chaos into order. It is something that has the potential to turn a meal into a feast. I feel so complete. You start feeling the fullness of life as soon as there's poetry, and it helps you make sense of your past, make peace with your present, and have a vision for the future. तो इंशाल्लाह मैं ज़रूर और पोइट्री लिखूंगी. जब भी दिल में दर्द आएगा, जब भी दिल में वैसा तूफान फिर से उठेगा, मैं ज़रूर लिखूंगी.
We opened up to questions.
She has to read a poem. Okay, स्नेहिल को एक कविता नरेट करनी है अपने बुक इमेजिन से. So हम सब सुनते हैं. So
आप बताइए आप कौन सी सुनेंगे?
क्रेजी सुनते हैं.
Crazy, चलो वही सुनते हैं. Okay, wait. If only I can find it. Okay.
वो पहली कविता है क्रेजी जूनी के लिए.
Have you ever thought of hugging a mountain? Are you willing to trap time in a jar? Have insane thoughts occurred to you? Have you been crazier than you really are? I've always wanted to dance on the ocean while wearing the rainbow upon my neck, and the gleaming sun would make delicious juice that I could have on my gingerbread deck. Have you ever wanted to float in the clouds and own a gigantic pet polar bear? Or build a tower that takes you to heaven and, like Rapunzel, let down your long shiny hair? Who says stars are far away? Who says they're balls of dust and heat? I see in them glittering diamonds, like the ones that twinkle upon ballerinas' feet. I think it's time we make fairies in snow, drink a whole turkey and eat some wine. How long will we wait before we live? How long before we awaken to lost time? So let's make unicorns come to life, and let's change what the word speed means. Let's gather our friends and fantasies, and let's be crazier than crazy itself has ever been.
You are right. It's my favorite.
Thank you so much. Now we're open for question and answers from the audience.
So, any questions?
Hi everybody. Hi everyone.
Hi.
Hold it close to you. Hi everyone. I just wanted to ask that
even I love writing very much. Okay, so did you guys find it difficult getting through? I mean, after writing, how do you choose what's nice and what's not? I mean, um, how do you just decide that okay, this poem I want to publish and this I don't want to? How is it?
Well, most of the time after you're finished with the poem and you read it and you just look at it and you say, okay, this is not good enough. And other times you look at it and you step back and you say, wow, I really like this poem. So
But how
you
do you know if
Can we have the volume up on the mics, please?
how do you know that if you wrote it, you know, I mean, you like it, but how are you so sure that everybody else likes
Well,
it?
if you read it a couple of times, you know whether you've done your best on it or not. If you go through it and you think, as long as you're proud of it, if it's something you're proud of and you want the world to read, then yes, it's good enough. If you're proud of it.
Thank you.
I had a simple question that when you were writing poems and like collecting them, a whole bundle of them, so did you have any barrier kind of a thing that stopped you from writing poems, and was it your turning point that you started writing more better poems, and also that it's a growing age, so were your old poems similar to the newer ones?
I feel that what you said, that basically you're trying to ask me whether have I incorporated all my poems into one book, or just the ones I think are good and new, right?
Yeah, but like, do you have any barrier kind of a thing that stopped you,
Okay.
or a calamity?
Yeah, I'd say I had absolutely no barrier, because as I said, and as she also said about her book, that we have very, very unrelated poems in one simple book. So there was no barrier, and there shouldn't ever be a barrier. If you're writing a book of poetry, it's next to impossible to write like so many poems on similar topics, because as I said, it's a feeling. You have to feel it, and there are a billion feelings in this world that we all have every day. So there should be, and there hasn't. There shouldn't be, and there hasn't been any sort of barrier, and at least in my case, as far as I've thought of it.
Writer's block is common.
Sorry?
Writer's block is common.
That's very common. When I'm told to write something, I cannot write anything. I'm like, no, please, tomorrow. But yeah, so.
Can I add to the answer?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. I wanted to tell you the biggest barrier that I faced was when you write a poem when you are 6 years old, and then you write a poem when you are 16 years old. The poem that you write when you're 6 is like, ये क्या लिखा है यार, ये तो मैं नहीं दिखा सकती किसी को. And then when you write a poem at 16, it is so matured and you're so proud of yourself. This morning I was reading my poems and I started crying. That's like the stupidest thing to do. So yes, you do. I faced certain barriers where there is a side of yourself which you feel that you'll show the world, and then they'll judge you, and then they'll get to know the keys to press. And that is what I was telling you initially, that give up to these barriers. There is no need for these barriers. The people have to say something, they have to make a judgment, isn't it? So barriers, not a big deal, you have to deal with them. So that's all.
या इट्स नॉट अ क्वेश्चन. मैं हिंदी में बात करूँगी आप तीनों से. मैं थोड़ा सा गाइडेंस चाह रही हूँ. सी मेरी बेटी है एक 17 साल की. शी हैज़ ऑलरेडी रिटन 3 बुक्स, एंड व्हेन शी स्टार्ट्स टू राइट वो फिनिश करके ही उठती है. मतलब 7 दिन शी विल बी राइटिंग, यू नो. सो वी हैव सेल्फ पब्लिश्ड इट हमारी अपनी प्रिंटिंग प्रेस से. Her titles are Paradise in Your Eyes and Insanity Mastered and A Beautiful Catastrophe. So मैं आपसे थोड़ा guidance लेना चाह रही हूँ. How can I promote, you know, her? She has written, it's a wonderful 3 books that she has.
I can completely relate to this, ma'am, क्योंकि मेरी भी self-published है.
हाँ.
Because poetry is something that's very like either people really love it or they don't really care. And
Yeah.
जो चाहते हैं poetry को, जो बहुत चाहते, जैसे जो प्यार करते हैं poetry को, वो बहुत कम लोग मिलते हैं ऐसे. So लेकिन आपकी बेटी ने जैसे poetry ही लिखी है कि
नहीं, she has her
novels.
she will take you to a teenage world, you know.
Oh wow! I think कि इसको you should firstly, if you self-publish it, you should just go on with it, because if you feel something, if you believe in a book, if she believes in her book, I'm sure everyone else can too, especially people her age.
Yeah, they will.
it doesn't matter.
So how did you find this stage?
As in the
Promoting.
No, how come you are here? Like, you know, and
me, I guess.
who helped you? Who helped you? Like, I would certainly
Mr.
want.
Sandeep Sethi, right there, the man in grey, he helped me a lot. He's from CBSE.
Okay.
And he contacted me. He was in touch with my principal. That's so I guess
Alright.
like talent, but lots of luck also.
Yeah.
Probably.
So, yeah, that's true.
Maybe we could
So,
get
please,
Sethi
anybody
to
can
act.
help me and my daughter.
Yeah,
I
why
would
don't
really
you-
like her to, to promote her books. Somebody read it. Somebody do the edition or whatever.
Yeah, if you could just give the mic, maybe Mr. Sethi could reply.
I think what she just mentioned is luck, and it was sheer luck only. But it began in a very bad luck phase. After the rape incident, we got this poem written by Tanisa. She sent it to us, and we had some CBSE functions where we used that poem, and we saw the impact of it. And you know, as I'm a teacher first rather than a CBSE officer there, so I realized that this poem has to go much ahead than just be there. So, and I was working in that school earlier, so I just contacted the parents and the principal. I said, "मुझे और कुछ भी लिखा होगा." No one can reach that stage without doing other things. So then we realized she'd done a lot of work. And with Snehal, it was, I don't know how lucky you are, Snehal, because I just happened to be in Lata ma'am's office one morning, and the book was on a table, and I was just sharing with your teacher right now that the rapport with I have as principals is very dangerous one. You know, I have to know my borderline very clearly. So I just said, "Ma'am, ye kya hai?" So she said, "One student has written a book." So I said, "Ma'am, I am working on Tanesa's link up with JLF. I don't know where I'm going to reach, because when I was in RN Podar, since 2 years back, we had begun this work of how to get students sitting there, and they were not very keen that time. So I said, I'm working on it for 2 years. Children should be in this counter. So then she said, I said, can I take this book to push it forward? So she said, fine, go ahead. So we have Sioli Sethi here, teamwork. We sent all the material to her, and it was luck factor, where things just started happening. We sent the work, they liked the work, then they gave us the terms and conditions, and things just happened. So
So
luck,
ma'am,
no
see,
doubt.
if you help yourself, God will help you.
How you
I
made the
helped
first book?
myself. I tried, and I was lucky, probably because of that. So that's why I'm saying it's both.
Excuse me, hello, this side. आपको आवाज़ आ रही है सबको? Can you hear me? Okay, we're really touched. हम लोग organizers के साथ हैं. We are Z News, and we are working with JLF. So it is Z JLF this time. और आप लोगों की बात सुन के इतना अच्छा लग रहा है कि यहीं के हमने डिसाइड किया है कि एक प्रोग्राम करेंगे आपके ऊपर.
Oh my God.
जितने लोग यहाँ पर हैं,
all of you.
आप
Thank you.
सब प्लीज इस शो के बाद में आपका बुक वुक साइन कर दीजिएगा. उसके बाद हम लोग रिकॉर्ड करेंगे. ऑल्सो जिन्होंने सवाल पूछे वो भी अगर साथ में आए तो आपको भी आपके सवाल भी हम लेना चाहेंगे. तो दैट विल बी इन द प्रोग्राम. इसके अलावा सॉरी, अभी जी न्यूज़ 3 साल तक जुड़ा रहेगा इस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन से, और ये 3 साल तक आप हम एक नया अवार्ड भी ला रहे हैं विच इज़ जी यंग ऑथर्स अवार्ड. वो अगले साल से शुरू होगा. थैंक यू. सॉरी, वन लास्ट थिंग. आप जो कंपटीशन होगी आपकी और लोगों की जो उसमें होंगे वो पूरी दुनिया में होगी. सो दैट इज समथिंग जो और भी हम सोच रहे हैं, क्योंकि आज जब हमने स्पॉन्टेनियसली ये प्रोग्राम देखा है तो वी आर थिंकिंग कि अंडर 18 भी एक प्राइज होना चाहिए. वील थिंक अबाउट दैट ऑल्सो. आपके सजेशन हमको चाहिए होंगे. अगर आप ट्वीट कर सकें दैट बी ग्रेट. जी JLF करके आप ट्वीट कीजिए आपके सब सजेशंस लेके. नेक्स्ट ईयर वील ट्राई एंड कम बैक विद दैट. थैंक यू सो मच.
Hi, my question is to all of you, anyone or all of you can answer. In today's pro-academic world, where all of or most of the children are doomed into the academic books, and they are too much bothered about the homeworks and readings and the marks and the numbers, how did you manage to come out of that school works and the homeworks and really cross the border, and at the so young age you came forward? I also wrote at my young age, but like others couldn't pursue, but how you could able to do that? and how that make the difference? Just any of you or all of you can answer.
I think all of us should answer this because we're all in such blessed schools, in such great schools where we all get motivation from our teachers, as she said, and your school, and so my teachers also. So I think we all should answer that one by one. How about you start?
Whenever you feel about something very deeply, until the moment you do not take it out of yourself, you will not be at rest. And during academic studies also there comes a point in life where the studies become so difficult that each of your feather begins to get ruffled. And that's the time you need poise. That's the time you need to contain a whole big world within yourself. I write in the loo and मैं bathroom में लिखती हूँ. And so मेरे अंदर इतने तूफान होते हैं, the turbulences within me are so strong that until and unless I write down something, I shall not come to rest. And it is only when you feel a peace within yourself, a fullness within yourself, that can you study. So for everyone's children, I would say academics अपनी जगह है, academics has a place of its own, but your hobby, your soul is more important because that's eternal. That is a constant that you can cling on to. Academics is not something so strong. Of course it is.
I would agree with what she is saying, and also I would say that if anything, do it because you want to do it and because it makes you feel good, and also because if that's not a good enough cause, poetry can really help. Once, I forgot my book to class and I wrote a poem on it, and the teacher loved my poem so much that she didn't yell at me for forgetting the book.
I agree with them again completely that जैसे तनेसा ने बोला ना, अगर आप में वो पैशन है, जब तक उसको निकालो ना, अगर किसी में वो कीड़ा है ना लिखने का, वो लिख के ही रहेंगे. And this is true for everything, not just writing. I mean, Gandhi ji used to study with a lamp. Mark Zuckerberg used to skip his classes and work on his website. That's why they are what they are today. So if you're passionate about something, forget the rest and do it. I'm not saying please do not forget study, but do not ignore something you're really passionate about, because that's the key to your success and your happiness mainly.
I had such hope when you said that forget studying.
Oh. Not for me, I'm in the 12th.
How do you choose a topic when you write?
Anything, whatever comes to you. If you feel, then it'll come.
Yeah, what I do is first I write, then I read the poem, and then I decide the topic, the title, because that's what I said, I write what I feel and what I imagine, and my imagination is very blurred, and I can't choose a topic and ever write on it. That's why if someone gives me a topic, I will never be able to write on it. I always write first and then see the topic later.
Adding on to what you just mentioned, Snehal.
Yes, sir.
Asked how to manage the exams and these things.
Yes.
So schools are very good. The principals understand.
Yeah.
She's missing her pre-boards right now.
Two pre-boards.
Two pre-boards. So the schools don't stop people from growing. Tanesa's principal is here, so she must have also given a lot of leverages in school. Children come up, अपने वो print करनी है, हफ्ता चाहिए, हफ्ते की छुट्टी मिल जाएगी. So principals do that, but they do see the quality and सच्चाई देख लेते हैं. So that is how they let children do. It's not that the schools don't promote it. They promote it if they see it, and every school does it.
Hello everyone, my name is Avishran. So I want to ask you all
Avishran, hold it closer, the mic.
Yeah, okay. So I want to ask you all that was it a burden on you, or someone is writing earlier than you in your family, or you were the first one to write?
Yeah.
My great-grandmother was a writer, and she used to write poems. When she was 16, she questioned God, she questioned mythology. She was a Punjabi writer. Okay. And sitting alternate to you is my grandfather. He's a senior advocate, and he's also someone who's authored a few books. If you look there, you'll find my grandmother as well. She's also a writer. So yes, predominantly I come from a family of writers. But then no, there's no pressure. It's just that I have it in my genes, bro. I'm so cool. That's good.
So,
hello
yeah,
everyone.
like she said.
My name is Akshay Santhalia.
So no, there's no pressure because they don't ask you to write until you write, and that's when they say, Okay, yes, you want to write, keep writing. So then you just keep writing. But until you show that you want to write, they're not going to tell you, okay, write, right now, write.
So I agree with what Zuni said. No one ever tells you, please don't study, please write, or please don't study, please sing and dance. But when you do it so well, people, your family and your teachers come up to you and say, please don't study right now, go write, go to the festival. That's what happens. So you have to, there is no pressure in the beginning, but it starts coming on to you later, because when you write well and it's appreciated, you have to stand up, you have to maintain your mark there. So the pressure comes later. It doesn't come before you start writing. No one will tell you please write, and no one will pressure you like that.
Question?
Hello. Yeah. Hi, my name is Akshay Santhalia, and since we all are talking about poetry here, I'd just like to make a small revelation that I myself am a writer. I've just self-published a book called Poet's Choice. And my question to you all is, do you believe that writing poetry is the first step you take to writing further on? If you have the passion to write and you're really into it, so is that your first step to writing and not the poetry itself?
Well, for us it was the first step to writing, but for everyone it might not be. There are so many ways of writing that if you choose one particular form, you can't say, oh man, I have to write poetry first. You can't do that. You have to write whatever you want to write.
Exactly. For some people, poetry is probably the toughest form of writing. I have friends who tell me ki yaar, I can't rhyme and this doesn't happen, and who write so well, like art. Some people write articles really well, some people write poetry really well, and in itself poetry has so many forms, limericks and haikus and God knows what all. So whatever you think is the simplest is the first step. Then when you step out of your comfort zone, that's the second step, and then it just keeps proceeding from there.
Until everything is your comfort zone.
Exactly. Until everything is your comfort zone and you're as good as some of the authors we have here.
Writing is the most primitive form of emotion and can also graduate on to being the most elevated form of emotion. Poetry writing is something which is the most elevated form of emotion, and no, it is not the first step. It should be, I think, the last step, according to me, for me.
Any more questions?
Yeah, sure. I have a question. Whenever you write, do you prefer to sit in a dark room, a cozy room, gloom? And do you think that when you spend, after studies, you spend your time in writing, be it poetry or anything else like novels, it cuts out on your social attitude or your social behavior? You become less social? Because I face that problem. I don't like to hang out with friends because I don't have time. So how do you actually get that 25th hour sort of thing?
Writing does not require practice, I feel. Like if someone is singing or dancing, usually their teachers or their gurus say riyaz karo, practice karo. With writing, it's just like if you really feel something, you can pen it down in 10 minutes. I think some of my best poems have been penned down in 7 to 10 minutes. That's it. So I'm sure both of them will agree with me, because if you feel it, it's there. It's like already in your head, you just have to write it down. You do not require a 25th hour for that. You just require 10 minutes and you require a pen and paper. That's it. So.
And about being an introvert, about being anti-social and everything. By birth, I was an introvert. But then you need to understand that you are much prettier than you think you are, and the world out there is awaiting to see you. So don't be an introvert, and give up on this fear of judgment. So do not be an introvert.
I have another question over here on the chair in the back. Hi. I have an 8-year-old and who's written 2 stories so far, and I think she has it in her. She's so young that when she wrote the story, by the time she finished it, she was really tired, and one afternoon she said, "Mom, why don't you complete the story?" And she just kept, telling the story to me, and I kept writing it, and I think it was a beautiful story. So going with what you just said, if you are proud of it, or if your family is proud of it, I understand that, you're going to be proud of what your child does, but I think it was amazing. What I want to ask is, how do you, the illustrations are equally important if it's going to be a picture book, not a chapter book. How do you, I don't know what books you've written, but have you hooked up with some illustrators, or have you illustrated your own books, or how do you, being in India, I don't know much, how do you get in touch with good illustrators? Could you elaborate on that?
Well, what I did, ma'am, is I contacted one of my friends because he's an excellent artist. In fact, he's held some exhibitions also in Delhi. So I was very fortunate I have a friend like that. So he volunteered very kindly to illustrate for me. And then I got them colored elsewhere because he just gave me sketches. So that's what I did. I don't know about the other stuff.
Can I ask her?
As for me, my mom's an artist, so I just asked her, could you please lend me your poems? I need to color my book. And she agreed, so it just happened that.
For me, I also, like her, know a really good illustrator called Kapil, and he's the one who illustrated my book. And it took a long time, but eventually we finished all the illustrations, because originally it was the publisher's idea that it'd be a book without pictures. But how can you have a book called Painting with Words with no painting? So I didn't want that. My brother illustrated my first book, Agni, and he is, as of now, at home playing cricket in the sweltering heat. So now he has no time to illustrate anything besides the fact that the ball is going to go past the fielders every time. But otherwise, for my first book, he illustrated the whole thing. So.
Very beautiful poem for us, right? It was called something about Santa Claus. I would really like you to narrate how Santa Claus was back started aching because the children got a little greedier, and they wanted more gifts from Santa Claus.
Let me just find it 1 second.
I'm not sure if this is the one you're talking about. Is it called My Stocking? My stocking is full, bursting now. Santa must be wiping sweat off his brow. Presents and tinsel, lights shining bright. My, it is a lovely night. I heard Santa's reindeer broke their backs. Rudolph had a heart attack. Me? Greedy? There's no way. Santa's wrist should be fine by today. I'm writing next year's list. I don't want a single thing to be missed. For this year, if his sack Santa can lift, I'd like to add just one more gift.
Hello. This side, between the crowd. Actually, I have written 3 or 4 poems, 1 in Hindi and 3 are in English. Now they are residing in my laptop. What should I do now? I have sold these poems to my friends also. They liked it, but I don't know what to do now.
Write more. Write more, then eventually you'll get a publisher and then you'll get them published. Write more first of all.
My question here is not really to the authors, but to the people at the back, the Z people, and to Sandeep Sethi sir. Mostly what I have been seeing is that children who are from better off families, with parents who have the right connections, the children who go to the right schools, उनके काम तो publish हो जाते हैं.
It's the other children, the children who are not as privileged, who are going to regular schools. Can we as adults who are interested in children writing, can we create a forum or a platform for the other children who don't get help at home and with family to come up? So we need to think about that. If we are thinking about children's writing, children like ours will take, our parents take care of us, but it's the other children we need to really think hard about.
Thank you.
There are some organizations for doing. When we began this work with Tanesa, we were working actually with Scholastic, but then the requirement was a little different. So they don't take in like.
So
to
if you
get
could
book-
hold it a bit closer.
Sure. You have to write like what Tanesa said. Write more. You want a book written by one person, or you want to have poems written by 25 people. So that is the choice you have to take. So then the publishers will take the best of the poems, like in a competition what ZTV is talking about. They'll be taking maybe the best of some of the writers, and they'll be putting it, compiling it, and putting it together. So we know a lot of organizations do that type of work. You just have to be in touch with them. And Tanisa, can we have some lines from Solitaire?
I'm alone, but that doesn't make me lonely. They often ask me whether it was lonely to be the only child. I moved my head first left and then right. Till then, my parents were reconciled. Today, as I sit by the windowsill with a pen in my hand, I wish to arrange the scattered silences of the sand. I need to tell them that life's not all that bland. Of course, either, it ain't very grand. When you're the only and only one here, everyone knows you'll get the big share. They just don't realize that you handle the biggest share. One thing balances the other, and that's how I call it fair. I am the only, but that doesn't make me lonely. I may be alone, but that means I'm in constant communion with the divine. Yes, I won't have siblings ahead for those familial dinners with dignified wine. Yes, I will always be closer to my parents and hence differently designed. But just because I'm the only, that doesn't make me lonely. I live sans the notional crutches we get so accustomed to. I don't search for a sister or a companion in every room. I'm alone and solitary, that may be true. But I ain't lonely and my journey ain't through. To be lonely is to yearn for a companion. To be lonely is to be sorrowful, yet perform the daily run. To be lonely is to crave the grouped fun. To be lonely is to fear the dark when the day is done. I'm alone, that makes me a tree in the middle of the ocean. I dance, skip, hop, jump, cry, recover, moan and run. I don't feel a vacuum when the day gets done. I just feel complete with God and need no one. I remain rooted, strong and stable. I've learned not to believe in fables. You don't always need those cables and still you can turn the tables. 'Cause I might be the one and only, but I'm alone and not lonely.
I think we need to just move into a launch of Snehal's book, Zuni's, and Tanisha, has your book been released? Not as yet. All right. So I'd like to actually call Tanisha's principal, Miss Avnita B. Rap, Vidhu and Anupama Chopra, who are Zuni's parents. And is there a representative from Modern School here? Please come up. And congratulations. Congratulations so much on your protégés, your children. Do come up from here.
Wanting to ask something.
Is this mine? This one? Yeah, this is yours. I think, okay.
And we'll place musical chairs. We'll get maybe Miss Beard to release Snehal's book. Zuni's could be released by the Modern School teacher and Tanissa's by Vidhu and Anupama. Yes? All right. Can we just have Snehal's book released, ma'am, Avnita? And ma'am, if you could just sort of release Zuni's book. And would you all like to say something?
Thank you very much. I'm very, very delighted to be here, feeling extremely proud of my student as of the other young writers. I think today's environment is just so conducive for encouraging children to express, to articulate, and I think the fact that these kids are here today is very, very inspiring for children, parents whose children are writers, and I think what we've learned from today's session is that we have to give them the roots and give them the wings to fly, and they're all there. Thank you.
I'd love for you to have it.
Yeah, I'll take one.
It was wonderful listening to her poem. She's just 12 and she's done amazing work. And it's very, very nice. The school encourages, even our school principal, our school, really, really encourages talent. Really. And it's wonderful. It's really, really great. Congratulations, dear.
Would you all like to say?
I love listening to all of you, and I was just telling her Hindi is so wonderful. It was so impressive, really. That's something I keep telling Zuni, let's learn to speak in Hindi a little more. But, there were parents here asking about their children. I have to thank the Jaipur Lit Fest. Her journey began here. So this is the best place on the planet to begin this journey of writing. We started bringing her here because I said, I want her to be at the Lit Fest, and back then, this was like 5 years ago, I think, but back then they didn't have anything really for children, and Vinod and I would sit and listen to Javed Saab talk, and she'd just be sitting there like, really, Mom, you brought me here for this, But a publisher, Amya Prakashan, they're Pune-based publishers, actually saw her, and she was talking about writing poetry, and they came to us and said, we want to publish her. So really, if you want to know what's the secret, it's the Jaipur Literature Festival. Come here more often, and it's a great place to be.
Thank you so much. Yeah, please.
No, I just want to say exactly what Anu said. Zuni was walking with me here, and they were talking to me about movies. And they said, what brings you here? And because Zuni was aspiring to write, I said, Zuni. And suddenly the television, they started talking to her. And the Zuni started actually giving an interview. She said, yeah, I like your adventure stories. And so she was like much younger, and it finished. I said, Zuni, what was that? She said, that was my first one. Was I okay? So this is the place where you get inspired. And I have to answer here. Also, there was a question. See, all that happened was Zuni wrote a poem. It got picked up here by some, I think Times of India carried it. Some publisher in Pune read that poem and said they want to publish. So there is a lot of luck, but there's a lot of hard work. And that goes true for everything. In movies we make, we work for years, and it's just a lot of hard work, but then there's a lot of luck. In all art forms, I think. Let us accept a great painter like Van Gogh couldn't sell a single painting through his lifetime, but he's the greatest of them all. So you have to keep doing don't stop at 3 poems, somebody said, I stopped. Don't stop. If you want to write, keep writing, and someday, some door somewhere, hopefully right here in the Lit Festival will open for you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And I just want to tell you all that there's a book signing with all our 3 young authors. The book signing counter is just outside Darbar Hall. So all 3 of them, I'd request you not to sort of get out of them here, but just go to the book signing counter. They'll be there, and they will be signing their books. You can buy the books. I think they're available at Full Circle. Yeah, you can buy the books and then go to the counter. Yes. Not here, sir. Not here. Right. Okay, okay. Sir saying that if you all could all go, even the parents, because I think the program that they want to do.
सिर्फ आपसे ये कहना चाहता हूँ, आप में से जिन जिन ने सवाल पूछे थे इनसे, अगर आप भी जहाँ इनकी बुक साइनिंग हो रही है वहीं पर आ जाएं, और साथ ही रिक्वेस्ट करूँगा पेरेंट्स को और आप सबको कि आप भी आपकी बुक साइनिंग के बाद वील टेक योर इंटरव्यू विद जी न्यूज़, तो आप प्लीज़ साथ में रहेगा बुक साइनिंग के बाद भी, वील टेक यू देयर। और इनसे जिन्होंने सवाल पूछे थे, ऑल दोज पीपल हु आस्क्ड दोज क्वेश्चंस, प्लीज़ बी एट बुक साइनिंग, एंड सिटी जी प्लीज़ आप भी, तो वील गो देन फ्रॉम देयर। थैंक यू सो मच मैम, बैक टू यू।
Thank you. And so you've seen this session, a really enjoyable one at the 4th